On the way to reaching my goals, a lot of doors open and close. Stack new money till it's old. Me running. It's me running for me. That's so funny to me. I was running. Now. On the way to reaching my goals, a lot of doors open and close. Stack little money till it's old. And I would have got a lot of. OMG. What was that? Y'all. Tell me why. I'm going to feel that later. And I know I am. That just made me real mad. OMG. Oh, Lord. Oh, when I tell y'all I took a fall, baby, I done took a fall. I'm like, oh, Lord. Now I'm looking for my... That is not funny. Thank you, Jesus. I had something that was there to help. Thank you, God. God said, go on. He told me, go on. Dang, God, I was just saying that I swear, you know, bestie, I wasn't doing nothing but about I was sending Gunna a shout out. Ooh, I, all the way to reaching my goals, a lot of doors open and closed. Listen, running up a check, goddamn. I want my respect. Rolling up a check, God. Hey, running up a check, God. Anyway, y'all, good morning. It's your girl, Shay Renee, and I want to welcome everybody. Hold on. Yeah, I'm going off script, child, because I didn't switch it up a little bit. Yeah, now the truth is, y'all know I switched it up. So it's given, I didn't forgot, okay? But it go a little something like this. And first of all, y'all make sure y'all hit the like button. Yeah, scoot up, get comfortable. Scoot up in here like a bumper car. So now that that's out the way, so the old version is, hey, Poopa Stars, it's your girl, Shay Renee, and I want to welcome everybody back to my channel, back to a new show, and back to a new week. But now it's go, hey, Poopa Stars, it's your girl, Shay Renee, host of my comment section. And I want to welcome everybody back to my channel, back to a new show, and back to a new week. What we talking about? Do you want to? I said, do you want to? Baby, I'll make sure y'all. Yeah. Baby, I woke up. I woke up with an extra. Yeah. Shout out to that. Y'all know how I talk about that extra. Yeah. Like that extra syrup, that extra honey, that extra ketchup, them extra pickles. Yeah, now truth is, that extra meat y'all be wanting over at Chipotle. Yo, I woke up with all of that. So shout out to that. Just extra. I actually woke up with some extra newfound energy once I realized that, okay, you know, I'm kind of off the hook this week, because truth is, child, I've been booked and busy. Yeah, another kind of booked and busy. Y'all know y'all can book me. So shout out to that. But not that kind of book. I've been booked and busy with these kids, baby. Summertime. Ooh, the summertime. Baby, they acting up too. Shout out to that. Shout out to my kids too, though. I ain't got no bad kids. Truth is, I ain't got no bad kids. But I do, you know, hey. They Shay's kids. So shout out to that. But anyway, shout out to my mini-me's. Yeah, nah, I love you just the way you are. The way you are. Baby, it's okay. You ain't gonna never have to front for me. Okay? Period. Just is what it is. So shout out to that. But like, so I woke up with some extra energy. Now I'm gonna have to find me something to eat, to snack on. Cause child, I didn't fail. Yeah, I didn't woke up and MNF and fail. Which is crazy. I just feel like I can feel it in my back a little bit, child. So I ain't finna play with that. Feel it in my back, feel it in my knee. I ain't got time for that. And now I know I got to do something. Truth is, I'm gonna have to do something. So when I walk about that restroom, I won't fall and slip and fall no more like I didn't like that. I said, I don't think I like that. But anyway, hey, Poopa Stars. It's your girl, Shay Renee, and I didn't slid. Yeah. Right on up in that thing. Ooh, so shout out to that. Let me see. Oh, oh. And listen, I know we supposed to be like, I don't know what we doing. Charlie bought a bag of lettuce. I did. I'm just playing all around in them produce. I'm like, and it's crazy too because I told my show's executive producer, I'm like, they saying people getting sick. And I'm like, that's we probably already experienced that. But he like, I haven't heard that yet. And I'm like, yes, they say folks just get sick. And so anyway, y'all, I'm just in the produce section just playing. Yeah, just playing. I done made me a good old fruit salad yesterday. I ain't thought about it. I ain't thought about it. Truth is, I need that little fruit. This morning, yeah, I said, no, I'm going to need that little fruit. Hold on, let me see what my kid want. Oh, child, speaking of fruit, salad. Listen, Cardi B, yeah. Hit the like button. So Cardi B, it is what it is. Cardi B came out yesterday. And she rocked the internet. Yeah, I said, ooh, rock a vibe. Baby, she rocked the internet. She sure did. She said, hold on, Blueface. She said, wait, Blueface. Cardi B said, I'm going to let you finish. Look, because I'm watching this shit too. Yeah, shout out to them. Buzz down, Tatiana. Okay. Yeah, baby. She says, yeah, Miss Mamiana. Yeah, Miss, I was at home with my kids, Mamiana. Shout out to Cardi too. Cardi B didn't play no guys in that video. I'm trying to see your boys die. So shout out to that. Oh, go Megan, go Megan. But child, Cardi B say, listen. Listen, Blueface, I'm gonna let you finish. We did our thing. Tatiana was that. But I had the hardest, yeah. This is what it is. Cardi B said, hold on. Hold my drink, Blueface. Truth is, baby, Cardi B said, hold the dawn. Ooh, I eat. She said, yeah, truth is. And so, y'all know I'm so animated. But what had happened was, she told Blake, what's his name? Child almost caught the man Blake Griffin. You know I'm a diehard. Matter of fact, tell me why my kids been playing. This is so funny. My kids been playing basketball. And one of my little boys gonna tell me, Mom, tell me why he trying to say he made up Westbrook. I said, huh. Yeah, come on now. Big mama, huge sports fan. Nah, Big Mama ain't going for that, baby. I said, what? Who? Well, Russell? Russell Westbrook? Nah, he ain't make him up. He ain't make him up. Then my little boy, the one who was, cold. See what he did? He had lied. He started saying all this other who Pop John child, but at the end of the day, now you trying to blame me. But child, anyway, no. Child, I guess Cardi B was over there acting like J-Lo yesterday, baby. Yeah, now the truth is she had enough. Cardi B said enough. Cardi B said enough. I said, ooh, okay. I had my hand on the knuckles, the brass ones. There's something on my mind. Period, but like no, y'all. I almost called that man Blake Griffin, but I think his name is Chris Blake, right? I believe his name is Chris Blake. I will say this though, after hearing from Chris yesterday, right? Because we definitely had to hear from Chris yesterday. We heard from Cardi B yesterday, and we heard from Chris. Cardi B said, he said, she said, he said. And I said, oh, I thought of the Crank Emergency Live, but no, I had to wait, yeah, and let it go ahead and finish like a washing machine. I had to let it go. You know, do it cycling or whatnot. And I was like, oh, all right, okay. We talking that talk in the morning, child. Because, like, okay. First of all, let me tell y'all. So, Chris Blake is being sued by Stephon Diggs for defamation. Okay. Now, Cardi B gets online yesterday, and let me find what Cardi B had to say. Hold on, y'all. We going in. Period. Put me on the remix, Drake. Boom, 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 boom. First off, you know what it is if you heard Drake. Yeah, I slide right in on after everybody. Jeezy, Wayne, whichever one of them went last. So shout out to that. I felt that. Drake said, I give you the business. So open up that shirt. He would say, button up that shirt. Damn it. And let me just say this for real. Yeah, nah, because I got to. So shout out to that. What was I about to say? Yeah, that's what I was about to say. You know, I'm kind of over everybody recycling lyrics. Yeah, truth is, I don't know how I feel about that. Um, mm, mm. I mean, like, I'm not mad at people spinning stuff, you know. Spin it, you know, put your own love, you know, on it. But it's just something about like people stealing lyrics. Like for instance, you know how Nicki Minaj said, "I'm number one, y'all gonna argue over top three." Or whatever she told them. I'm number one, y'all gonna argue over who number top. Whatever Nicki told her. What she say? Like but that's her bar. That's her bar. And then here T.I. come using it. Well, how he said and let them know, all they do is fight for number two because I'm the one. You know, it's like, I mean, it is what it is, you know, but I just feel like that's Nicki bar. Go find something else to do. Yeah, and I take it a step further. Find something safe to do. Yeah, let's talk about it. Because for a real Capricorn, I mean, shout out to that. I am a real Capricorn. So shout out to that. But that definitely came out wrong. But like for somebody that's really like music, love music, into music, like I say, I don't know about that recycling lyric shit. Yeah, no, truth is, you know, like it is what it is. Like, please, find something else to do. Shit, I don't know how else to tell y'all. I ain't gotta, you know. It is what it is. I'm a fan of the art. Shit, it is what it is. I don't want to hear the same old from the same old, you know? Another thing, like how Nicki Minaj said, all you, this is my sons, you know? And how she like to claim them. Like, and now other artists like to say that too. Like please let Nicki have that. Yeah, now, truth is, the thing is, you know, how Shakira them be running, it can only be one MNF a winning, baby. It can only be one MNF and winner. Okay? The person that spit it first, they won. And here you come with your BS. That's how I feel, y'all. Truth is, okay? So, yeah. Shout out to that. Now, hey. You want the truth? You know you got to be able to handle it over here with me. And like, you know what made me think about the Capricorn thing? Child, when LeBron was at Jay-Z's thing, you know, like, I said, look at LeBron. I said, LeBron is a true Capricorn. He remind me of myself. The only thing is, what LeBron was doing at Jay-Z's concert, I be doing at home. You know what I'm saying? And I said, but look at him up there jamming to this music. You know what I'm saying? Feeling every lyric. Truthfully, I couldn't do nothing but just go back to his horoscope. I was like, oh, well, shit. He a Capricorn. So it's natural, you know, because people was giving him flag, you know, acting like he was overly fanned out for Jay-Z and all of that. And like, that's, no. If you know, you know. Okay? I'm just saying, if you know, then you gon' MNF and know. Okay, so shout out to that. But anyway, back to now we going back to that. Like Drake said. I took a break, but now I'm back to that. So again, you know, shout out to Cardi B though. Who, you know, it is what it is. She spoke up, spoke out yesterday, child. And you know, honestly, I don't know. I see a lot of comments where people were saying Cardi shouldn't have did that. No. I've seen a lot of comments. And we're going to listen to what Cardi said in a minute. So y'all make sure y'all hit the like button. But I'm just telling y'all off the rip. Because y'all know this is my comment section where news and opinion. Well, y'all know that I am host of my comment section. And that's where news and opinion links. So it is what it is. We got to talk about the news. And listen, baby, we going to gossip. talk about these opinions on it, okay? So stay tuned. Shout out to that. Today, it's Cardi B's turn. Spin the wheel, Cardi. So anyway, Cardi B, it is what it is. She jumped online yesterday, acting like a typical baby mother. It is what it is. She did. You know. Um, but before we get into all of that, I mean, before we get into my opinions on all that, let's hear from Cardi B. Hold on. Mm, You know everything green. You know everything green. Oh, yeah. That ain't right. That ain't gonna be right. Like, nah, it's actually to the left over there what Beyonce said Jay-Z stuff. And let me tell y'all this. Y'all know I say that all the time, right? Yeah, now I be like, it's to the left, to the left. What Beyonce. Try. So shout out to that. Anyway, yeah, because I ain't got nothing. I don't got much. All I want to say is, I heard Lil Kim say so recently. I was like, okay, Lil Kim. Girl, keep your writers off my line. Keep your writers off my line. That's all I'm going to say. Keep them writers out my goddamn backyard. I mean, it just is what it is, though. Writers, y'all hit the like button. Yeah, not truth there, because I'm just blessed and highly favored. So shout out to that. But, hold on. Mm, 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 mm. A sharing moon down. Hold on. Gee. Jeez Louise, hold on. Hold on, y'all. I said, hold on. Hold on, because I'm trying to find what Cardi B has said, what she has said. And I'm like, dang, did Cardi, like, was it taken down? Hold on. This is annoying. Because somebody got it for sure. Hold on. This might be it. Hold on. Okay. Okay, so this, hold on. Y'all hear Cardi?
The first time was, oh, I asked this nigga for some money, you know, like he was my people, and he came and whispered in my ear, like, oh, you want the money, you gotta do this, and that. Then, when your story wasn't getting picked up how you wanted it to get picked up, you juiced it up and you spiced it the fuck up. And now it's, oh yeah, he pulled out, yeah, he was high and he pulled out his meat. You said two things. You hate the fact that they didn't forgive you.
Y'all heard Clay? So that version, shout out to the neighborhood talk. That version right there, posted by the neighborhood talk. It didn't have Cardi B at the beginning saying that like she hate that she online defending seemingly Stephon because she said she don't even really, she not cool with Stephon these days. But, child, let me play that one more time, y'all.
You hate the fact that they didn't forgive you because you stole from them. You didn't like the dough. Everybody around your circle knew that you stole. So what you did, you went and you put the worst allegations, the worst allegation on a man. I've never seen another man want to be involved so much with have those allegations with another man. Not only that, I never seen a man be obsessed with another man like that. This light-skinned albino came on the internet and told the story 3 different times. The first time was, oh, I asked this nigga for some money, you know, like he was my people, and he came and whispered in my ear, like, oh, you want the money, you gotta do this, and that. Then, when your story wasn't getting picked up how you wanted it to get picked up, you juiced it up and you spiced it the fuck up. And now it's, oh yeah, he pulled out, yeah, he was high and he pulled out his meat. You said two things. You hate the fact that they didn't.
All right, let me just say this. Let me just say this. I seen a lot of people in the comments, a lot of commenters telling Cardi that this man's story has never changed. That's what they saying. Now I remember everything from the beginning, as far as like when Chris came to the internet with all of this, but I have not been following it to the point where I'm like, I can or can't agree with Cardi B. I don't know if he's changed his story. But what I will say is, I think a change story could possibly also look like, okay, for instance, because Cardi B said, you know, you came out, you told a story. The story wasn't picking up steam like you wanted it to, so you came out and you told a different version. See, this is my thing. Well, she didn't say it like that. I did. But that's how I took what she said. But my thing is, I think that it's possible that, excuse me, I think that it's possible that he might have only told a little bit. You know, if that makes sense. Truth is, like she said, it's possible that he came out, he told a little bit of his story, and for whatever reason, right, he gave more revealing, I don't know the word for it, you know, but it's possible that the second time he gave way more details. You know, that is a real possibility. But I'm just saying, so that's not a story change. You know, that's like just saying very little at first and then giving way more details the next time. That could have possibly happened. Or like Courtney saying, he could have told her, he could have just changed it. I don't know. I really don't know, y'all. I'm really just trying to make sense of it all because you got Cardi B saying one thing, you got commenters saying another. The commenters are saying that he has not changed his story. And honestly, I wouldn't mind hearing from you all. Because, like I said, um, you have so many of us, right, who are paying attention. Always paying attention, always in the know. So, yeah. Um, I would love to hear from y'all. Has his story changed or has it not? Is Cardi right or is Cardi wrong? I don't know. I honestly don't know, but um, this is a lot. But before I even go any further on it, let me read to y'all what Chris had to say. Because just like I said, hold on. First, oh my goodness, 1 second. Let me put y'all on a brief hold. I'll be right back. Let me get situated. I'll be right back, y'all. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm back. Now, before I go more into, the opinion on the news, we got to keep talking about, we got to keep, chopping it up about the news first. So, like I said, Cardi B got online, and she, seemingly is calling Chris out, okay, for his story or whatnot. And let me just say, let me tell y'all what, hold on, let me read to y'all what Chris said. Because it is what it is.
You hate the fact.
Let me tell you something. This man got right online and responded. Didn't waste a second. Okay? And hey, I'm going to make a point. Hold on, I'm going to make a point. Hold on. I'm going to make a point. Because I got to make a point to that. But hold on. Y'all remember that. 1 second. Give me 1 second. Okay. So this man got online real quick. I mean, like with the quickness, okay? And he responded to Cardi B. He said, and let me tell y'all something. Most of the time people be like, I ain't reading all of that. Baby, I read all of that. Okay, so shout out to that. I read all of that. And I just want to tell you, hold on. I'm not going to even tell y'all that. It's just like, hit the like button. Scoot up. Let me tell y'all what Chris had to say to Cardi B. He said, I have too much respect for Cardi and women in general for me to say anything despairing despairing. Um, Back to her. But mama, please take off the blinders. My time around the collective predates you. How could I be the thief when the only person that got the R word rhymes with Bob and the A word rhymes with, you know, popped on, was me on camera twice within a 7 day span. Y'all keep talking about which direction someone leans toward in the regard of their, their actual orientation while bypassing two documented assaults. First, the first robbery plus attack was illegally recorded without my consent as Maryland second party's consent state. I never agreed to being recorded while being the N word, basically clothless and basically on. Okay, to comply with a narrative after I denied the advances of a man who had just given me a diamond watch from Aliente the same night of my attack. The guy publicly admitted to me leaving his home without my belongings as he bragged about having me, Jazzy Jeff, from Beth Bethesda, Maryland property barefoot, not even with my shoes on my feet. Hundreds of thousands of dollars in clothes, accessory, and luggage gone from me still today. The second time, the second robbery and attack was in California, captured via 4K surveillance cameras from all angles, where someone with same middle and last name as Barty's baby daddy were charged and convicted by the state of California for the attack on my life. You know how embarrassing it is to have to face this foolishness every day? Organized crime is illegal. Organizing crimes is illegal. If I didn't speak up, imagine how many more victims there may be. Points was made. Look up what happened to he mentioned somebody. He said look up whom attacked and cross-reference those names with who did it to me. These same kids she referenced that are watching me need to know their daddy never let anybody step on me or over me that did me wrong simply because they were more rich. Because Cardi B was saying that he got kids, I think. Yeah, that clip that we listened to, it was short. For whatever reason, it got short. I'm gonna see if I can find the longer version, but I definitely heard her say something about him having kids and stuff. He said, truth gonna be the lie 8 days of the week. The discovery that comes out in the East Coast trial will put all of this madness to rest. And who pocket watches? Someone whom was sued for defamation and claims that the earnings were affected? Simple math for me to ask where you took a loss. Please remember, I was sued first. I responded with facts that have only become more substantiated as time has taken shape. And now everybody involved will be held accountable where it matters most before a judge and a jury, buddy. It's all love. You don't know what you don't know. CB to CB, mama. Please don't say my name anymore. Chris Blake. Now, yesterday when I read it, y'all, I felt like, man, listen, you want the truth? Oh my God. You got to be able to handle it. Yesterday when I read that, it gave a spicy tone. You know, it really did. It gave like a scorned lover. For real. It did not give like from man to woman, so to speak. It gave more so like from a man to a woman who has possibly or thought about dealing with the same man. Yeah, now truth is. Yeah, listen, you want the truth? You gotta be able to handle it over here with me. Chris, at some point within all of this, Chris seems um um I know I'm trying to choose my words too. But listen, throughout all of this, Chris is coming across like someone who he's coming off as someone who could be a little confused about whether he is or he isn't attracted to Stefan. Okay? It is what it is. Listen to me, hear me out. Now, I think that Chris represents himself like a hetero man. I think. I could be wrong though, but I think he does. With that being said, I'm sure Chris already knows it. This story is having everybody side eye him too, you know? And again, I'm sure he knows this. And I'm gonna tell you like this. Chris has to know that, like, regardless of what he says, this is seemingly one out of three narratives. Okay, one narrative is Chris was just around these people and like blindly didn't know anything, right? And all of this stuff, crazy stuff happened to him while he was in company of folks. That's one narrative that it very well could be. Another narrative that it very well could be is that they were doing something. Like closeted. Closeted. Like, I'm not out, you not out, nobody in this motherfucker is out. Okay, that's why we in. That's why we in here now. Yeah. Okay. That could very well be the second narrative. The third one could be that, you know, Chris had took old girl advice like Players Club. He could have watched one too many episodes of Players Club when they told him, use what you got to get what you need. You know? You had that too. That could have been what was going on too. You know what I think he likes me. I'm not sure if he likes me, but I definitely think he likes me, and I'm going to use that to my advantage. I'm going to see what all I can get out of this situation with him liking me. And you know what that remind me of? Them folks that be over there with Tyler Perry. Mm-hmm. See, them folks that be over there with Tyler Perry, they be playing it the same way. They be playing it like, hetero. I don't want him like that, don't like him like that. But he's made advances towards me, you know? And that's the same thing that Chris came with. The only problem is, you know, sometimes others can see things that you can't see or whatever, you know? And when I read Chris's response, it sounded a little sassy to me. Now, that's not saying nothing about nothing. That's just calling a thing a thing. It had like a, Barbara, this is Shirley type of undertone, you know? It is what it is. It did. Yeah, I'm a diva. I'm a diva kind of undertone. Especially when he here with that. This situation predates you, and take the blinders off, and Cardi, please, you don't know what you don't know, and keep my name out your mouth, mama. And I mean, what did he say? Please don't speak on my name again. Don't bring up my name. Don't mention my name. Like, yeah. Like, why? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Tracy,
y'all. Listen, his response already had a nice, nasty tone to it. It did. It was very nasty nice. Meaning, I'm checking you in the most respectful way I know how. Because I remember reading it like, oh, wow, he cleared. You know what I'm saying? I remember specifically my initial thoughts was he cleared. And he did it in a way where Cardi can't go running, acting like, oh my God, he picking with me. Her fans ain't gotta go gang up on him. No, he did it in a very nice, nasty way. But to end it with, Mama, please don't say my name anymore. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. After I read it again, I guess it don't sound so, you know, um, but I don't know. It really, I don't know. It just, it wasn't a, let me just say this, because I'm not trying to say that I believe anything one way or other about him. I'm just telling you the thoughts that I got when I from reading this. And honestly, it wasn't a really masculine read, okay? It wasn't. And that's just that. Um, yeah, now truth is shit, let's talk about it. And then so last night I saw this one girl. I don't know her. I don't know her content. I have seen it a couple of times. She's really funny to me. But I don't know much about her. But I saw that she was breaking down like she had begun to break down like listen, she had a lot of pictures of Stefan and Chris. It just is what it is. A lot of pictures. And she was like, basically, this ish looked like a breakup. You know, it just is what it is. She was saying like that ish looked like a breakup to her. And y'all, I hate I didn't save her information because I would have showed y'all all the pictures, and I'm going to make sure that I definitely do better with that. But like, yeah, like one thing about this internet, it be listening. Okay, so it is what it is. As soon as we get off of here, when y'all go to Facebook or y'all go to Instagram, y'all probably gonna see what I'm talking about. So shout out to that. But yeah, the it's a lot. It is quite a lot of pictures of Chris and Stefan. Okay, on the internet. It is. It just is what it is. And then, she was also saying that like, what's the color is yellow. He's a yellow man. Clearly. He's yellow. Um And even that lady was like, "Oh my God, you know what I'm saying? He yelling like Stefan likes him." And I'm like, "Oh Lord, like." And honestly, I think that is a really good point. Shit, I had already peeped that though, for real. Like, if you know, you know. If you a detailed person, you a detailed person. Like, yeah, that was one of the very first things that I had already peeped. This high yellow man coming out with these allegations. Now, if he was Michael Blackston's color, Stephon might be off the hook a little bit. Yeah, now, truth is, let's talk about it. But, child, I just feel like, I just feel like people gonna tell on themselves every time. Yeah, every single time. Okay, it is what it is. But yeah, they you know, it is what it is. I guess I can only assume, right? Because I wasn't there. I don't know what happened. I guess they had some type of interest in, I don't know, friendship or whatever. Some type of situation. But if I'm being all the way real, yeah, y'all know I gotta do that first. Myself first, y'all second. Honestly, truthfully, it comes off like we were messing around, but I'm not comfortable with saying that. So I'm gonna say it like this instead. You know, that is really what it gives. Truth is. Yeah, now truth is, okay? And so with that being said, you know, listen, people always say that what people do in their house is their business, you know. And you know, I really, you know, I can agree with that statement, right? But I'm gonna agree with it to a certain extent because I do feel like, you know, um, usually somebody is deserving of that information. You know what I'm saying? Somebody, usually somebody. Not all people though. You know, because that's the thing. Like people be feeling like I don't know. People just be feeling so what's it called? Entitled. Yeah, and like we are not people are not entitled to that type of stuff. But again, it depends on who we're talking about. You know, it is what it is. For me, it's gonna depend on the person. Okay, so that's just how I feel about it. And yeah, that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. And yeah, we can go to digging and talk about it a little more in further detail later on. But like I was saying, as far as they go, um, yeah, no, you know, it really does. It comes off like um I'm sparing the full details, you know. Um and it's crazy too. It's crazy and it's sad because Cardi B was just talking about Jay-Z. I mean not Jay-Z, JT. You know? And make sure y'all hit the like button. Cardi B was just talking about JT, about, you know, her basically, you know what I'm saying, trying to talk down on Uzi. And now, you know, it is what it is. Those allegations have, you know, fallen on Cardi's doorstep. And let me just say this too. Cause I heard DJ Academics speaking on it, and DJ Academics, basically said something that I can agree with. You know, he was saying that he don't know what happened in this situation. He don't, but he definitely believes that something did. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. He said. He said he definitely believes something did. Now to piggyback off of that, I do too. What exactly? I feel like I don't know. Because again, like I was saying, um, it's one or two things. Either Chris really don't swing that way, and so that's why things are the way they are, or either he does and he's not comfortable with letting everybody else know that. So again, that's why things are the way they are. You know, but I definitely can agree with what DJ Academics is saying. You know what I'm saying? Clearly something happened, you know? Um You know, it is what it is. And the truth, I guess it lies somewhere. You know, who knows if it'll ever all fully come out, because this is the thing, like when you have a situation so sensitive as this, right? If people are trying to hide things and sweep things under the rug, huge things, big things, like the main detail of it all, it's gonna sound crazy. You know, it is what it is. It's gonna sound crazy, and I take it a step further. We ain't gonna never get the truth. And y'all know me. I don't like half of the story, a little bit of the story. Tell it all, or don't tell none of it. You know, it is what it is. But me personally, I really don't know what to say besides the fact that it's a lot. You know, it's a lot. And I will say also that I can agree with the rest of everybody saying that they don't think Cardi B should have spoke on it. I don't either. I think Cardi B should have just let it be. You know, it is what it is, especially because she's saying she not involved with Stefan. That's not her man currently. So, you know, like let him go through whatever it is he need to go through. And Cardi, you know, she got her lawyers and stuff like that. She in the entertainment, she's in the industry. You know, she got money and stuff like that. She could have very well supported him from behind the scenes, you know. Me personally, I don't think it's nothing that she should have put her brand on the line for, even if he was to win in court. You know, it is what it is. It's just like he said, Cardi, you don't know what you don't know. And like, that really sounded like something, you know what I'm saying? That sounded like, you know, like, that sounded like a man that knows something. You know, it is what it is. It did. Now that sounded like you sound dumb. You do. You better get the hell on. You know what I'm saying? Try it did. So at that point, I don't know. That should have made Cardi B like back up away from the phone, put her hands up, and take out running or something. Yeah, nah, that was that did it. Yeah, nah, out of everything else he said, that was his gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. That was his moment right there. So anyway, yeah, I'm with everybody else. I do think that Cardi should have left it alone, but I will say this though, the fact that Cardi is speaking on it. Matter of fact, hold on real quick. Hold on, y'all. Um, but it is what it is. Like I said, people, be wanting, access to that type of information, and everybody doesn't deserve access to that type of information. But I will say, if any of the allegations are true, right, on either party's end, it'll come up again. I'm telling you, and that doesn't necessarily mean publicly, but it will come up again. So anyway, shout out to that. No, like no sense in, like sweating the smile or driving yourself out crazy trying to figure it out. I just feel like eventually it'll come out and you'll be like, I knew I wasn't crazy, you know? And that's just that. Uh, that's just that, okay? And then I don't know what else is going on because they was trying to. Now I will say this though, I want to ask y'all, my audience, do y'all think that it's a bad thing for Chris that Cardi is speaking about it? Because remember, Cardi didn't necessarily believe that chef either, and hey, we saw how that turned out. He won, so you know. Could it be a bad thing that Cardi B is speaking out on this? Does it automatically mean that like Cardi might have saw something that you know, makes her feel comfortable speaking up on it? Because I'm gonna tell y'all like this. I don't know if she necessarily would have said something if she don't really know, you know, um, all there is to know. When I saw her speak on it, I was like, oh, well, that might not be so good for Chris. Just don't know. But y'all let me know what y'all think about it. And anyway, that was really it. Pooper stars. That was some tea yesterday. A little bit anyway. But yeah, I'm telling you now, like, now it don't necessarily mean he gonna win, but like, nah, it's giving like this ain't no made up stuff, to me, just my personal opinion. Chris is giving like, I know some stuff, I know some stuff. I was around, this happened to me. How the hell you gonna tell me this didn't happen to me? Like, that's his energy. Child, so anyway, y'all. Um, it's your girl Shay Renee, and I want to welcome everybody. I want to thank everybody for rocking with me, and listening to my podcast and what I had to say this morning about Cardi B, coming out and defending, what she calls baby daddy number two, Stephon Diggs. Y'all let me know what y'all think about it, and I'll see y'all on my next video. Bye, y'all.